Here's the number one thing to watch out for when buying or selling sports cards. And this is sort of like insider information that I only learned from talking to eBay customer service. And I called them, and in fact, I don't understand why more people aren't talking about this, because this is a wild problem, and I hope you aren't experiencing it or running into it today, whether you're buying or selling on eBay. So the number one thing to watch out for when buying or selling sports cards, obviously, is one of the main advantages of eBay is the fact that they have this thing called authenticity guarantee. And for cards over $250, they will send it to a third party to make sure that it is authentic before the transaction takes place. Now, obviously, as a buyer, especially as you buy more expensive cards, this is great reassurance. And as a seller, it's a key reason why people are buying my stuff on eBay. And so I think it's a really important thing to make sure your listings have. As I mentioned, this automatically occurs for auctions for trading cards that are valued at $250 or more. So that'll be either the buy it now price or when the auction gets to a certain price. That's when this automatically kicks in. So it should just automatically show up, and you can see the little blue check mark for the authenticity guarantee. And then if you go down in the listing, you should see the shop with confidence authenticity guarantee. And what's really wild about this is on this, some of my auctions were missing the authenticity guarantees, even though they were very expensive cards. In fact, I only first found out about this when a customer bought a card from me, I think it was $2,000, and I didn't have to ship it to an authenticator. And I was like, what the heck? This should have been, automatically going through there. And so I wonder, how many sales did I miss? How many cards were slow to sell? Because some of my auctions literally didn't have this. And so I figured out a problem. So I called eBay. And honestly, I'm actually very impressed with their customer support when you call them. It took about 30 minutes between waiting on the phone, talking to somebody, having them investigate. But we did find a solution, and that's what I want to give you here, because honestly, I don't know where else you're going to hear this information. So the eBay authenticity guarantee automatically applies to trading cards over $250 with one major exception. And that is, there are things you may be putting in your title and description that make it no longer eligible for the authenticity guarantee. And I didn't know this. One word is case. So obviously the authenticity guarantee is for single cards. It could be graded or ungraded. And so it makes sense that if you're selling a case of cards, but I had no idea that they were using artificial intelligence to look at the title and description of your listing and then also make a decision as to whether it applied. Even though I was submitting my auctions inside the single trading card category, if it included the word case, it would kick it out and it wouldn't be authenticity guaranteed. Now you may think that's a weird word to use, and I totally agree. I didn't actually use that word. I used the word encased because I had cards that were sealed from the manufacturer. They were encased. People love to know this. They love to know that while that hasn't been graded, it's in perfectly mint condition. No human hands have touched the card. And I wanted to include that in my title and description. But literally the word encased was keeping some of my really valuable one-of-one cards from having authenticity guarantee. And it cost me either time or money or both because my listings weren't selling as well as they could. Working through with support on eBay as well, I found that sealed can be another word that can show up. So if you think about like a sealed case, that kind of makes sense. But again, I was probably saying that this encased card was sealed by the manufacturer and it was taking away the authenticity guarantee from my listings. Now, they also mentioned in certain cases that the word auto can make your listing not eligible for authenticity guarantee. I personally didn't run into that and didn't have any problems, but in hearing this type of explanation from eBay customer support, I was able then on my own to quickly test changes to my titles and descriptions and get all of my listings back to authenticity guarantee. Let me show you what I was talking about. So I just now looked for cards that were encased, and here's a Panini encased Anthony Davis one-of-one autograph card. They're listing it for $800. It should be eligible for authenticity guarantee. You can see it's not here on the listing, and in fact, even when you zoom out, it's nowhere to be found on the page. And so just to show you the example, this is an Anthony Davis one of one white mojo card that this title and description don't say it's encased. And so even though this one's only selling for $699, you can see the authenticity guarantee at the top, and then if you scroll down the listing, you'll see the shop with confidence authenticity guarantee. This is what you want on all of your auctions. If you're selling cards, and obviously if you're buying cards, you want to make sure you're looking for this because it won't be on everything. And I can do this all day long. I can find more. Here's a Jamar Chase rookie patch auto, one of one, for $900 that should have this, and because they said it's encased, which it is, it's sealed by the manufacturer, this seller is not benefiting from the authenticity guarantee, and anyone who buys it would not be protected by the authenticity guarantee. So I had to make a video about this and warn everybody. If this is helpful or valuable to you, share it with someone you know who's in the business, in the hobby, and can benefit from this. But here's my tips. So first of all, start with your title. Just tweak it. What's awesome about this is that I found that instantly when I revised my listing and saved it, it instantly worked. So if I removed the right word, authenticity guarantee showed up immediately. And so you can play with it. You can iterate and try to find which words are causing the problem or not, and see if that works for you. I would start with your title. I've seen the most impact from adding titles. Now, the person on the phone did tell me you may have to edit your descriptions. So, for example, often in my descriptions, I copy over the title again in my description. And so if I say it's encased or sealed from the manufacturer, that would be in my description. I personally would start editing your title and saving it. And if that doesn't resolve it, then look for those words in the description part of your listing as well. I hope this saves you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of headache. And again, thank you so much for following, and subscribe for more awesome information like this.